Hello, namaste guys. This is Durga. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining me for this video. Recently, one of my stencil art video got a lot of views and I'm really grateful to you guys for all the love and support you have shown me. Some of the people asked me to show how to make stencils. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I make stencils at home for my art. So without any further ado, let's get started. I usually do soft pastels on ivory sheet, so this will be my main sheet, and for the stencil I make use of a normal Xerox sheet or a thin sheet. Now cut this sheet to the size of the main sheet and then draw the stencil sketch you want to cut out. I have already made one and kept ready. Now before we cut this out, let's shade the parts that are going to be cut. Because usually when we start to cut, it might get confusing, so in order to avoid it, I shade the parts which is to be cut. Here I am making use of a normal blade which you'll get in any stationery. So let's start tracing out the sketch with the blade. But looks like it is a little blunt, so it's kind of difficult to cut it out. You can see the struggle. So make sure the blade that you're going to use is sharp to make your work easy. So let me just snap off the top blade so that I can make use of the sharper blade below. Now you can see how easily the paper gets cut. Let me zoom in so that you can see the difference. So let's cut out the other parts in the same way. Now there are some parts in the drawing which is supposed to be retained, but it doesn't connect to the main sheet. So in order to do that, make a connector between those two such that you retain it. Identify such parts and draw connectors beforehand. Sometimes when you try to cut the paper, accidentally you might cut the parts that are supposed to be retained. So keep a tape by your side so that you can stick and retain those parts. It's easier when you cut the paper towards you. So what I mean here is I move the blade in the downward direction. By doing so, you will apply more pressure and the paper gets cut in one go. And you need not keep tracing it again and again. And keep turning the paper accordingly. cutting curve areas in one go could be difficult. So, to cut such areas, divide the curve into 2 or 3 sections and cut them separately. So when you have letters in your stencil, you will need connectors. So here I am marking out those connectors which I'll be needing in this drawing. Be careful when you're cutting the paper. I usually place my finger on the parts which are already cut such that it doesn't rip off the sheet when I'm trying to cut the other parts. So just be careful of those areas. And make use of steel scale to cut any straight lines. It's very easy when you make use of a scale to cut these parts. So yeah, I have cut the whole stencil out now. Let me show you the connectors that I have made use in this drawing. Chalo, let's make use of this stencil for our drawing now. I have already stuck the paper with the normal sellotape. I am making use of a white soft pastel in the center and then light orange and yellow. Then I have made use of a darker orange to give the gradient and then brown. Now for the sky, I am making use of white, light blue and dark blue. Now start smudging the colors from your finger from lighter to darker gradient. Now place the stencil over it and with the help of a tape you can keep it in place. And start dabbing the black paint with the help of a cotton. Here I am making use of a poster black paint. And make sure you dab it evenly on all the sides. Just dab the paint over the stencil, don't try to spread it, because while spreading there are chances that you might move the stencil and it might damage your painting. So after it's done, you can make use of a paintbrush or a sketch pen to join those connectors, like to rectify those connectors. So I am making use of a sketch pen here. And it's done. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. That really means a lot to me. Thanks for watching.